Independence Day. Now, I know for a lot of people on the radio side, you're so busy with barbecues, you're so busy with sleeping in and possibly hangovers, you might not even have caught us on radio, so you're catching the podcast. Trust me, you had a great time. So if you're just waking up to this, and you're like, what am I supposed to be smoking? When it's Independence Day, it's Warfighter. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. The Warfighter guys are terrific, and they make just a really good cigar. Is it going to blow the doors off the place? No. Is it going to be amongst the finest cigars you ever had? No. Is it good? Yes. Every time? Yes. We have had a myriad of their cigars, Fingers Malloy and I. This one we haven't done yet. This is the Garrison. This Habana Oscuro Maduro wrapper, Connecticut in the binder, and a series of fillers out of Nicaragua, including Ometepe, which would mean this comes out of some volcanic soil. We're doing the Robusto, Fingers Malloy. This is a 5x52, which means it's 5 inches long. Always makes Fingers Malloy laugh. That's a new one. That's a new tee right there. The ring gauge is a 52. That's the diameter of the cigar, or how thick it is around. Again, with the laughter. By the way, the nuance. The nuance, Fingers.
You just noticing this?
Absolutely joyous. A 62 ring gauge would be a full 1 inch around. 52, 54 is really the top of the line, line of where I like to be in terms of mouthfeel. I am just lighting mine here. We did a straight cut on this. Some people might choose to do a V to get even more intensity, but on a Habano Oscuro, I don't know if more intensity is needed. Fingers, what do you got?
Well, first of all, I concur with your description of Warfighter and what they do. I've never had a bad Warfighter stick. I mean, between whatever stick we do, the flavor profile, I've enjoyed all of them. Construction has always been great. I've never had a problem keeping them lit. Just for the most part, just steady, solid smoking experience with these. With this, right off the bat in the very first third, like you said, we just lit this up and I get immediately hit with pepper.
Not bomb, presence.
Yes.
Get the difference, guys. Difference between, hey, I'm going to slap your sister, and hey, I've arrived with a fine gift.
Yes. Pepper, there's a little bit of nuttiness and some wood. That's about it for me. I'm not getting any sweetness. I'm not getting any chocolate or cocoa or creamy sweetness. It's just pepper, nuttiness, and some wood.
So when you've got this Oscuro Maduro wrapper, you see that it is almost black. It is more black than it is brown. You may think overpowering. You're talking about two things here. You're talking about fermentation. First and foremost, when you're talking about Maduro, Oscuro is more of a name. It's a way to describe where the wrapper is. Now, will it be stronger? Yes, that much is true. Does it necessarily mean overpowering? No, it doesn't. And you can't get scared away from those things. Just like you can't get scared away from Connecticut's and they're this pale brown. You're like, oh, that's too weak. That's not true either. You got to expand the palate and exercise the whole palate. And you have to try some of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm concerned with right off the bat here is that it's such an easy draw. And with this being a Robusto, I'm already noticing the urge to smoke this way too quickly.
I understand it, and I will allow it this one time.
Oh, okay.
This one time. We often ask, what is the cigar for? What is it good for? And the answer is Warfighter is really good for anything. Is it good for the golf course? Absolutely. Is it good for the yard work? Absolutely. Is it good for the back deck? Absolutely. There are no moments. There are no moments. A very, very solid smoke.
Can I pose a question to you? May I pose a question to you?
All right, just this once.
So you have often commented that I smoke cigars quickly, and I've acknowledged that as well. I'm wondering if you are a person who either currently smokes cigarettes or used to smoke cigarettes, because the smoking experience for a cigarette is a lot different than a cigar. I think we would both agree, right? Smoking a cigarette's more for a lot of people, kind of a stress. I'm gonna smoke the cigarette really quick.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if people out there who were cigarette smokers or are cigarette smokers, if they tend to smoke their cigars faster just because they have that habit of smoking a cigarette and that influences how they enjoy a cigar.
I can't tell you, and I'm never a cigarette smoker in my life. I don't know if that's true, but I get your point. They smoke to a habit of movement as opposed to an enjoyment of cigar. It's certainly possible. I think sometimes things smoke faster, A, because of size, and B, because of ease of draw. There's just a generalized movement. There's when you hit the Warfighter at first, if you take those first couple of puffs, you actually do get a little saliva going. You get it moving. And by the way, get your notebooks out. What did you eat today? What did you drink today? What is the weather? Actually, we've had this mix of humidity and the nice spots here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And that all will affect palate. All weather, what you eat will affect palate. But when you can get a cigar, like something you'll notice about this, as I was reading up on it, and a little bit of salty. And that's a unique kind of flavor. That's not always my flavor. I find the Carib, for example, from Avo, salty. It is directly out. I don't have that issue here in the slightest. So it could be a series of things, including you on that day, about how quickly you're smoking.
Here's what I'm noticing about that saltiness. It's not on your tongue. It kind of stays on the lip. Like I'm noticing if I lick my lip is now salty.
Right.
And normally when I lick my lips, it's even after I have a large fry from a favorite restaurant, they're not salty. So I'm wondering what that's all about. Maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe you're overthinking. You just need to kick back and know that this Independence Day, America is still the greatest country on the face of the earth, and you have a fine cigar made by veterans. Give yourselves a hand. There it is. Were you singing "Oh Canada"?
No.
I thought you were singing "Oh Canada." I'm like, what did we move?
Oh, I did sing. I was doing okay.
I'm not crazy. That's so great. Oh, now the question, Fingers Malloy, is this in your humidor? The Warfighter, they call it the 50 cal. It's the Garrison Oscuro Maduro Robusto. Is it in your humidor for $9.50 a stick?
We're just in the first third, but so far, so good. I would say yes.
I would argue that nearly everything in the Warfighter line, and I haven't tried everything yet, but I've tried a great number, is worth picking up a few sticks and putting in. Everything is worth trying. It's worth the money. You are fine by saying basically $10 a stick. I'll get 4. Put them in the humidor. Try them over the next few months and see where you're at.
I started out with America the Beautiful, and it morphed into "Oh Canada."
Right? That happens when you're from Michigan.
It's true.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
It's a Michigan joke. Don't hate me, Superstation in Detroit. The value conversation has really come back. We talk about it with cigars and bourbon fingers all the time. Well, the food conversation on value has gone through the roof because, as we have discussed, the quick serve, the fast food has gotten so expensive that people have gotten to what I think it was the CEO of McDonald's described as the breaking point. They can't do it anymore. There's no longer a value in it. So you would assume they're like, forget it, we're not going out to eat. There's a weird shift happening in that. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything we do at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is the second story that we have seen in this vein. As Americans trim spending, these cheap steakhouses are booming. This starts with a story about the Darden Restaurant Group, so the Olive Garden people. What are they finding? They're finding that they're seeing more customers. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Everything we talk about the economy, that doesn't make any sense. Go back to our original conversation. The quick serve has gotten so expensive. I mean, a meal for 2 could be $30 at fast food. Well, if I'm going to spend $30, why don't I just spend $35 and have somebody bring me a refill of a Diet Coke? It's a value conversation. If the fast food is no longer a value, Applebee's becomes a value by default. Okay, I'm not going to sit in my car when I eat, but someone's going to bring me a refill and is going to bring me an extra napkin, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to leave much of a tip, but I'm at least going to get service.
Yeah, let me give you an example.
Please do.
I was at Wendy's the other day, and I got a double meal, okay? And
you say that like I should know what it is.
You don't know what a Dave's Double is?
I have no idea what a Dave's Double is. Well, how would I know what a Dave's Double is? How would I, outside of a Frosty, what do you think I've ever ordered?
You've never had a burger from Wendy's?
I do not know if I've ever had a burger from Wendy's. Oh my God, look at your eyes. Look at the look of shock and disgust. Are you rubbing? He took off his glasses to rub his eyes because he's not quite sure what's happening in society. Up is down, left is a banana.
You do realize that Wendy's, for all its faults, including those awful things that they call French fries, Wendy's has arguably the best fast food burger outside of Hardee's or was it Sam's Jr.'s?
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Same people.
Outside of them in the fast food industry.
What?
Wendy's burgers are fantastic.
What?
Yes.
Why wasn't I notified?
If you're comparing, and I'm not, I know some people like to blur the lines and say, oh, it's not as good as Five Guys. Five Guys is not fast food. Five Guys is not fast food. It does not have a drive-through window.
Is that the determination?
In the Fingers Malloy Institute study of 2021, we got a government grant thanks to Ask Lesko, and they said, poll 50 people that are just as fat as you, Fingers, and ask them what classifies a fast food restaurant as a fast food restaurant, and 47 of the 50 responded drive-through window.
And the last three were so fat they couldn't walk up to respond.
There it is.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
Wendy's fast food. So the double is basically a double quarter pounder.
So a half pounder.
Yes.
I did the math.
Well, see, at McDonald's, they call it a double quarter pounder with cheese. So that's why I said double quarter pounder. But you're right. It's a half pound burger.
But it's not 8 ounces of meat. Or is that pre-cooked weight?
I'm assuming it's pre-cooked weight.
That's how they get you. How they get you.
So anyway, the Wendy's double meal with fries and a soda, it's $12.
Yeah.
You could go to Applebee's. What would you rather do? Get a really good
I'm not the guy to ask. You know the answer to this question.
Or go to Applebee's or a Chili's and get a sirloin steak with sides. I mean, you're not going to get the top of the line steak at those restaurants, but a sirloin.
Now, bringing up steak, allow me to just move the subject to this part 2 story. Places like Texas Roadhouse, that's where people are going. Now, my father, rest his soul, loved Texas Roadhouse. Loved Texas Roadhouse. When my mother was cleaning stuff up, she found a half-used gift card to Texas Roadhouse in one of his pockets. That's a true story. And I get the mathematics. Your point is exactly the point. There comes a moment where you say blanket, not blanket, blank it. If I'm gonna spend, because if you make the argument that it's just you, maybe you singular still do that. But if you're talking about for the missus and the 2 kids, forget it. Let's just go to Texas Roadhouse. I'll eat a steak. It's the same price. Everybody will be happy and we'll feel like we're out. And you're making this value judgment that the other thing can't give me what I want. So maybe I'll go out less. I'll spend a touch more and I'll be like, yeah, I went out for a steak. Yeah, and you will actually feel better about yourself.
And if you get the app for some of these places, or if you're an AARP member, you may be able to get a further discount.
What is going on with you? If you're an AARP member, you're nowhere near being an AARP member.
I'm an AARP member. You can join the AARP when you're 18 years old.
That's not true.
It's true.
That's not true.
Ask Jeeves right now. I'm telling you, at 18 years old, you can join the AARP.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, wait, are you an AARP member?
Yes, I am. And we're not sponsored by the AARP.
No, and we never will be. There are a few things I can guarantee in this life. Write that one down.
I had a coworker say, "Listen, you got to join the AARP," and I rented a card and immediately paid for my membership because of the AARP discount.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. The point is, people are making this shift. They're making this shift. I can't talk about the AARP.
I'm sidetracking you like crazy. It's raining Dave's doubles and AARP everywhere.
But this makes perfect sense. It really does. We've discussed that part of the whole going out to eat thing is about feeling normal. You work hard. You're getting pinched by inflation. You want to know how much my mortgage has gone up because of the taxes? It just went up again because due to the escrows. I'm out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm out of my head about this. And now I can't afford to get a burger with my kid.
Yeah.
Well, if you cannot afford to go out, if you can't afford to have these very small luxuries that actually normalize, that make the work worth it in ways, these little rewards for oneself, well, then what am I working so hard for? Then it becomes really unfair. That's when people get angry.
Well, and the other thing that you need to really be careful with is if you decide, you know what, I work hard, I deserve to at least go and get a meal, I'm going to put on my credit card. And then next thing you know, you're maxing out your credit cards on things like going to Texas Roadhouse instead of...
I cannot say it enough. Pay off your credit card at the end of every month. Oh, dear Lord. Wait, that bubble is going to be brutal. By the way, in the quarter ending in March, sales at Texas Roadhouse locations up 8.4% based on the year before. Longhorn up 4%. I mean, that's just it. If I'm going to go out, they're not in there. And while Olive Garden's doing better, these things are outperforming Olive Garden because I'm going out for a steak. It's mental. And by the way, steak is good.
And their rolls are fantastic.
Is that right?
It's true.
Oh, what do you know about that? Eat, drink, smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Smoking from Warfighter. We're doing the Garrison. That Oscuro Maduro Robusto right there. That 5x52. Smoking beautifully. Find it for about $9.50, $10 a stick. Warfighter is going to work for every occasion. I'm truly impressed with how every single time it's just a good cigar. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. It doesn't often make my top 10 list or my top 3 that we do every year, but I trust it. If I grab one, I know I'm okay.
And if someone hands you one, you're like, oh, Warfighter.
And they've got a great story and being veterans, having served, and you feel good about smoking the cigar, and they're very good guys, very decent guys here. Get out your notebook if you haven't already and start writing down what you're feeling. Of course, we discussed what you eat today, what you drink today, what's the weather like. That all affects palate. Break the cigar up into thirds, even a 5-inch, even a Robusto, first third, second third, and final third. And then what are the flavors that you're getting, right? That spice is actually not as overwhelming as I thought it would be. And by the way, we should be clear the difference between pepper and spice. It is pepper at the first, not necessarily massive. There's a lot of tobacco forward in here, which I really, really like. But you were right. The reason you're smoking fast, the draw is exquisite, man.
It is.
We've smoked a lot of $30 cigars where the draw is good. The draw here is just, you want to argue it's too easy. It's not. It's right on. It's exactly where it should be.
It is right on. And I was just about to mention how I'm getting much more of a tobacco note than I was before. And that pepper for me, you know, we talk about this all the time. Is it just that you're getting used to the pepper, or is the pepper actually subsiding a little bit? I think for me, it's subsiding a little bit. So for me, it's tobacco, that wood. And even that nuttiness has kind of gone away a little bit. It's more wood and tobacco for me.
That's exactly. I love the wood flavor. I love the cedars in my cigar. That's not what I'm picking up. That's not where the strength is. But super easy. Some nice smoke coming off of here, and a great example of you would expect this as a Maduro Oscuro to have real strength, to be this full bodied cigar. I consider this a medium. That's where I'm at in this. This is not overwhelming me by any stretch of the imagination. For me, a medium cigar. But it's time, Fingers Malloy. And by the way, if you want to find the people at Warfighter, warfightertobacco.com. Warfightertobacco.com. Fingers Malloy, bring me news of the week.
According to CNN, Walgreens is set to close a substantial number of its roughly 8,600 locations across the United States as the company looks to reset the struggling pharmaceutical chains business.
So, is this from all the theft that has been happening, which no one reports on now all over the country, or is this Walgreens having done the Starbucks thing, putting one on every dang corner, and in the end, nobody needs that many greeting cards?
Maybe a little bit of A, a little bit of B. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, it's the CEO of Walgreens, Tim Wentworth.
Tim, what's going on?
Said the closures would focus on locations that aren't profitable. So you can't be making much of a profit if a quarter of your merchandise is going out the front door without somebody paying for it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that answer suffices. Right? What can we discuss what profitable means? Is it not profitable because of theft? Is it not profitable because of the cost of goods? Is it not profitable because you don't have the employees to man the store to sell enough? I want to know which problem is leading to the problem.
He went on to say that either the stores aren't profitable, or locations are too close to each other, or stores struggling with theft.
Okay. Thank you. Now I've got it. Oh, that's ugly. That is ugly. Did they say how many when they talk about stores that are
So they said 8,600 stores that they currently in the United States. They're going to be examining, looking over 25% of those locations. So
over 2,000 stores,
possibly.
But they may not close all 2,000.
Exactly.
Stores.
There's going to be a re-examination.
There's a real possibility they could close 1,000 stores.
Could be
1,000 empty buildings in cities across America.
It's
great look.
It said they're planning significant closures of underperforming stores across America as part of a multi-year optimization program. Changes are imminent for roughly 25% of the stores that aren't profitable. So, but 25% of the stores that aren't profitable. So that may.
So wait, that's still 500. It's still a big. And by the way, 500 to 1,000. It's still big. It still bothers me.
What bothers me is, there's been a narrative going around for some time when you see these stores in big cities across the country that are being robbed blind. Well, they have insurance, or it's a victimless crime. It's a big corporation. Well, there are victims here, and it's the people who depend on that store in that neighborhood. When the store says, okay, we aren't going to be here anymore, we're going to close up shop. And by the way, all of the employees that are working here are going to be jobless as well.
And then the cities are going to turn around and blame Walgreens people. This is where they got their prescription drugs, this, that, and the other. And now you're leaving them high and dry. You know who first discussed that as a real possibility and a real problem? You, Fingers Malloy. You were the first person I ever heard discuss if you close the local Walgreens and Fingers Malloy Sr. has to go get his prescription drugs and the local place is closed. How many miles away is Fingers Malloy Sr., not the best driver these days, gonna have to go to get his prescriptions?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And we're going through this right now because his favorite pharmacy is Rite Aid, and we've talked about it briefly. It's not one of the bigger pharmacies around the country, bigger pharmacy chains, but it is a significant sized pharmacy chain, and they're struggling too. I can't remember if they've filed for bankruptcy or they're close to filing for bankruptcy, but they're struggling, and he sees the headlines. And even though I try to reassure him, listen, we'll find you another pharmacy. When you're in your 80s, that kind of news rocks you.
Right. I'm going to have to change this. I'm going to speak to the doctor. I got to get things refiled. It just becomes a lot and a headache. And what kills me is that there are going to be cities who blame Walgreens.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't close here. You can't. It's going to be like closing military bases. And people are going to be lobbying. You can't close this base and you can't close that. You can't close the local Walgreens. What did the city do to help prevent the theft? What did, and also, may I add, what did Walgreens do to help prevent the theft?
That's where I was going to go with that, because how many times have we seen people in these stores pick up their phones and videotape the stores being robbed blind, and then you have security guards sitting there almost opening the door for them on the way out. Watch your step on the way out with all that merchandise you're stealing.
And then if you do interrupt, you have corporations that fire the employees for trying to stop the theft from happening. You have the people who do the theft who feel like they can actually sue if they're stopped because, look, you injured me. You're supposed to let me take this stuff. This is much more a societal rot conversation than it is an economic conversation. But if you want to be one of the people who's out there saying that, you know what, it's a victimless crime, they have insurance. The victim is Fingers Malloy Sr. The victim is everybody who doesn't have the local drugstore now. There are victims. The idea of victimless crime is myopic. Because you're not the victim doesn't mean that the crime itself is victimless.
And the people who are going to lose their jobs in what's turning out to be starting to be a softening job market.
These things do compound. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. I know, Fingers, you hail from Michigan. Mm-hmm. And I know that as a man who hails from Michigan, you are a Detroit Lions super fan.
That is true.
You have the tattoo right there on your arm as you show it to me. You have painted your garage Honolulu blue. You take off. You are like, sorry, Tony, I can't work with you today. The Lions are playing.
Is it a little excessive?
Usually do it on Thanksgiving, so I find it to be okay. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. And for a while your team could not get out into the playoffs or win a playoff game, you did have a fantastic quarterback in Matthew Stafford.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, he then left for the Rams and immediately won a Super Bowl. You got Jared Goff, and you made it to the NFC Championship game last year, as you say, ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule. This is the year, Tony.
This is the year, and you got Dan Campbell, who'll bite your knees off as head coach. You're good to go. I want to talk about Matthew Stafford. I want to talk Matthew Stafford because I would like to take a moment to say that when people want to talk about Bill Belichick and his dating life, I'm like, this is a ridiculous story. This is ridiculous. I don't want to hear it. The whole thing is boring as can be.
By the way, Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old cheerleader girlfriend apparently have been living together for some time.
Would you stop paying attention to that story? Are they happy? Are they in love? Are there wedding bells? Tell me everything. Where are they registered?
They're actually going to do a joint wedding with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Well.
Sha-la-la-la.
So I don't pay any attention to Bill Belichick. Don't care about his dating life. I don't want to pay any attention to Kelly Stafford, the wife of Matthew Stafford. But allow me. Kelly Stafford is a horrible woman. She's a horrible wife. She's a horrible woman. Be quiet, Fingers. Daddy is talking. She's a terrible person. And Matthew, I'm sorry. I really am. You don't deserve this, but she's terrible. And if there's an issue, I'll give you my address. She's an awful, terrible person. You can do better. Don't allow her in front of a microphone. Don't allow her in front of a camera, and remind her she's not a personality and she's not special. She's your wife and she should be your wife and a good person, except she's not a good person and she wants to tell me about it every damn day. I don't know what's worse. Your wife saying how she dated the backup on your team so you would be jealous, or Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, shooting her dog. You tell me, because right now, Kelly Stafford, way worse.
Kristi Noem shot Kelly Stafford's dog?
Well, there was a thing.
Oh my goodness.
You want to tell us why Kelly Stafford is just disgusting?
Oh, here's the deal. First of all, that's rather strong.
Despicable, disgusting, awful. I have met prison guards I like more.
Wow. So Kelly Stafford,
that shouldn't be a knock on prison guards. I apologize.
You apologize to prison guards, but not calling Kelly Stafford the worst human being on the planet.
I didn't say that.
I think you said the worst human being on the planet.
I'm saying she's in competition.
FoxNews.com had the story. Kelly Stafford broke the internet last week when she revealed that she once dated her husband's backup quarterback at Georgia in a, quote, effort to make him jealous.
Break it down a little further.
Quote, I dated the backup to, I'll clean up the language, tick him off, which worked. He was the bad boy too. Matthew was so sweet and a Southern gentleman and all that stuff. And the backup was the complete opposite, and it upset him.
Let's argue that it happened. Whatever. People find ways to find each other all the time. And I have no problem with that at all. At all. No problem in the slightest. I have a problem with you telling the story.
It gets worse.
Oh, well, wait a second. Maybe I have other problems.
They lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm room. He would see my car there. At one point, he waited and followed me into the car. I was like, this is amazing. It's working. I was like, get out of my car. He was like, why do you own stock in the word like? No, he didn't say that. He was like, he's not right for you. And I was like, what? You can't tell me that. This must be some podcast. He was like, and she was like, and what was like?
She's just terrible. If it happened, it happened. Also, I know people who got divorced and then got remarried to each other. Like, I don't understand that at all. Crazy things happen. People do what they do, and that's fine. Why are you talking about it? Like, yeah, I was able to show him. I was able to manipulate him. Why are you saying it with like this Machiavellian joy?
I'll tell you something. As someone who is from Michigan, like you said, a Detroit Lions fan, to see someone turn from babyface to heel as fast as Kelly Stafford did after they went to LA is something that the WWE couldn't even come up with. Everybody loved the Staffords in Detroit, and some still do. Kelly Stafford had some health issues. She had some brain tumors that were benign, and
happy to hear that.
And they removed them, and she had a long recovery. And the state of Michigan and Metro Detroit, they rallied around her, rallied around the family. But then they had the playoff game, and the Lions played the Rams in the playoffs. Hosted the Rams. Matthew Stafford came back to Detroit as a Los Angeles Ram, and Kelly Stafford claimed that fans booed her small children. Which, listen, I know Detroit. I know the fans. They weren't booing her kids. It's always about Kelly Stafford, and what's really crazy about this is Matthew Stafford. He doesn't want to be in the limelight. He gives you the most boring press conference answers possible. He's not very charismatic in front of the camera. He just says the standard lines that a quarterback would say. And then you got Kelly out there getting a microphone in her face, and she wants to be a star. She wants to be the star, and stuff like this happens. She basically just said, hey, everyone, at one point, I was in a relationship with the backup quarterback of the Georgia.
That is not what she said. That is not what she said. That might be the words, but that's not what she said. Hey, everybody, I'm such a manipulative so-and-so that I pretended to like this guy so I can get to that guy. Now you say to me, well, that's women. Someone's going to what? That isn't going to be.
How dare you, sir? I would never
know
think
it.
such a thing.
Stop it. Why would you brag about it? Why are you talking about it? Like, that's how it works, ladies. Why weren't you just honest about what you wanted? Why didn't you walk up to him and say, this is what I'm looking for? That is how, by the way, I believe you should raise daughters.
By the way,
yes,
when the news broke and there was the social media outrage from these comments.
I didn't even see it on social media.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Okay.
It, according to Fox News, set the internet on fire.
Ablaze, perhaps?
Ablaze. I wonder what dinner was like that night at the Stafford home. Oh, to be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
I don't know what people are so angry about. I was just speaking my truth.
Oh my gosh, it's like Kelly Stafford is here. Can you give me a little more Kelly Stafford, please?
I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure where that came from. That was part Kelly Stafford, part the old creepy guy from Family Guy. Hello there. I got a popsicle for you. See my pocket.
You need the whistle. So good to see you again.
I can't do that.
So good to see
I
you
can't
again.
do that part.
Oh.
Right there. But you know what? I only have so many talents. By the way, Kelly Stafford, creepier than the creepy guy from Family Guy.
That's fair.
Oh, disgusting. Sorry, Matt. Really, I mean that. Life. With this being now summer, we're full in. We're completely in. Independence Day. Man, it doesn't get any more summer than this. Well, it's not just summer because, and I regret every moment of this, ladies and gentlemen, Fingers Malloy has dubbed this not just summer,
Hot girl summer.
It's hot girl summer, which means I'm about to drink terrible things. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is Fingers Malloy. We usually review a bourbon. We review a rye, sometimes a scotch, sometimes a tequila, sometimes we do a beer. And of course, last week we gave you the mixed drinks you should be making, the cocktails you should be making for Independence Day, and only hope you're enjoying those. But Fingers insists that as opposed to the summer of George, this is
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer. And what better way to celebrate than with White Claw?
No.
This is not White Claw. You're absolutely right. This is Happy Thursday, Fingers Malloy. Would you like to tell us how you came upon the drinks from Happy Thursday? The website drinkhappythursday.com.
Well, here's the deal. So Tony confessed a couple of weeks ago.
I confessed?
Yes, that he had never had a White Claw.
Never had a White Claw.
And I was stunned. And so I thought to myself, well, this has to happen at some point on Eat, Drink, Smoke. Not necessarily because people are craving a White Claw review, but I think it would be radio gold for Tony to have White Claw. So I was in our local liquor store. They were out of White Claw.
What?
They were.
You know why? They got the notice that it's
Hot girl summer.
That's hot girl summer.
So all of a sudden I see this Happy Thursday. And what's interesting about this is it's not a carbonated canned beverage. It is different flavored, tropical, I don't know, never said tropical, but fruity cocktails in a can without carbonation. So it's almost like you're drinking juice, Tony, which what doctor would recommend you not drinking juice? That's the question I have for you.
There are 4 flavors, Fingers Malloy. I couldn't take it anymore. There is the strawberry, the pineapple star fruit. Do not look that up on Urban Dictionary, by the way. There is the black cherry, and there is the mango passion fruit. No carbonation.
No carbonation.
No bubbles.
No bubbles.
And they say it right there on the can, bubble free. Happy Thursday, spiked refreshers. These come in at 4.4% alcohol by volume, What are you even doing? We're really this is happening.
Sure, it's happening, and I think it's going to pair wonderfully with this Warfighter cigar.
It's going to destroy the Warfighter cigar.
Okay, so my question.
Luckily, I could just tell you to get your Warfighter wherever it is you are. Give me a cup. Give me a cup right here.
My question for you
I have small red Solo cups because how else?
Well, that's how you're drinking yours. I always drink my Happy Thursdays in a dirty glass. So anyway, Tony,
by the way, you could also find Happy Thursday at Urban Dictionary.
So which are we gonna try one or two of these?
We're gonna try two of these, Fingers Malloy.
Okay, which flavor would you like to try?
Ooh, I think you said that you had the black cherry. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are drinking Happy Thursday spiked refreshers because Fingers Malloy has already tried these because it is
Hot Girl Summer,
and that's exactly how he identifies. So let's start with the black cherry.
Okay, we're going to go with the black cherry. Now, if you want more information on the Happy Thursdays, of course, you can visit the website, eatdrinksmokeshow.com, or go to their website, drinkhappythursday.com. The black cherry, 120 calories. Their description, a nostalgic flavor, refreshed. Our black cherry balances ripe, flavorful sweetness with a touch of tartness for the perfect cherry moment.
Oh, is that right?
The perfect cherry moment.
The perfect cherry moment.
So look at that. I'm pouring it. It does not
I saw Perfect Cherry Moment open up for Oingo Boingo in 1986.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Nina Cherry was the perfect cherry moment back in 87.
I like the black-eyed cherry guy. Who's the Save Tonight?
Yes. I
Is
don't
it
know.
Eagle Eye Cherry?
Eagle Eye Cherry. There it is. Pouring this into my dirty glass, I immediately thought to myself, I was pouring a Bartles and James.
It's exactly what it looks like. It's not too dark. It's not too overwhelming. That's Kool-Aid. No, you know what that is? Guys, did you grow up like I grew up? And when you were sick, Mom would go to the local store and get you Minute Maid fruit punch.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're right.
That is the exact smell. Exact. They got the same chemical formula as the people at Minute Maid.
So, Tony, I think for change, you should go first.
Oh my God, that is the exact smell.
Yeah.
I can show you the house. I can picture right now the house I grew up in Middletown, New Jersey. Oh wow, isn't
it crazy how the aroma of things can trigger memories
more than anything else, more than taste?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going in.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen.
4.4% alcohol by volume. The Happy Thursday spiked refresher, bubble free, black cherry. Here we go.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. I'm going in.
It's exciting.
Here we go. Any second now. I'm going. Here we go.
Listen to him pretend to hate this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude. You
can get in a lot of trouble with that.
You can get into all the trouble with. Hold on.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing the Saginaw swish.
Dude. Are you kidding? How many calories is that?
120.
Okay, I get it. That's some real sweetness, but it's not overwhelming by any stretch. Minute Maid fruit punch to a T.
And you can, let me try it if you don't mind.
All right, goes in. He's going in for the Happy Thursday spiked refreshers. So much trouble, I cannot even describe it.
And here's how much more trouble you could get in with this. Because there's no alcohol flavor on this at all.
Zero. There is maybe at the very finish, you know that it's a little more than just a fruit punch.
Say you were on a mission.
Right.
You could put a shot of vodka in this, and maybe you would finally taste some alcohol.
Do you want a shot of bourbon in there right now?
Okay. He's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to the Eat, Drink, Smoke liquor cabinet. Oh, don't do that.
No?
Don't do that. Oh, my goodness. So, do you have any Blantons?
I do.
Oh, my goodness. I can just imagine the hate You would get.
This is Davis County straight bourbon whiskey, 96 proof.
Okay. He's pouring a shot in there. He's pouring. Good for him. He's pouring a shot for himself, too. See, I thought he was just going to stick this on me. So here we're going to go in.
I am not a fair weather friend, my friend.
So much trouble. So much trouble.
And what is this summer called?
Hot girl summer.
Yeah, we know why. All right. Turns out Fingers Malloy has turned into the Hawk Tua girl. Here we go. Oh. We're going to wake up in somebody's dorm room. The people at Walmart are trying to take a page from the people at Costco. And this isn't about building the big store and creating more Sam's Clubs and finding ways to compete in that bulk kind of sale. It's about the private label, because it's clear that Costco does it very, very right. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. The fan following for Kirkland Signature is real. So much so that they sell gear. Kirkland Signature, that they have that logo. Oh, my youngest has one.
Really?
A sweatshirt. Kirkland Signature. People go crazy for it. Out of their mind. And they have figured out how to do not only foodstuffs, they do bourbon, they do wine, they do a myriad of things.
Coffee.
And they do it very, very well. They have figured this out in a big way, and they have made people huge fans of it. Sam's Club is doing this, and they have been moving aggressive on this with something called Members Mark. Now, I'm not a Sam's Club member. Are you a Sam's Club member?
I was at one time, yes.
Did you ever buy anything Members Mark?
Yes. I'm going to sound a little bit like an elitist. And this is probably just all psychological, but when you walk into a Sam's Club, all the signage and everything looks just like Walmart.
Right.
So even though it has the Maker's Mark name on it, there's just something.
Members Mark. Maker's Mark is completely different.
Yeah, Maker's Mark everywhere. No, it's Members Mark. To me, unfortunately, I think Walmart, and that may actually influence my opinion on some of the stuff, and it shouldn't.
But wait a second. I'm rarely in a Walmart, just not where I end up. I think that the Walmart, the entire store and the entire signage is very much a downer. I think that the color scheme, I think the feel of the stores, it doesn't work. Never feel that way in a Target. Target feels more up. Mm-hmm. Costco feels more up. Walmart does not. Have you seen, I don't know if they have where you guys are, Meijer? Meijer. Now they have these Super Meijers. It feels not as up as a Target, but more up than a Walmart. It's right there, right straddling that middle ground. That feeling matters. And I would be somebody who would think that Sam's Club would want to change the marketing strategy to make it different than Walmart. There's a reason that you're going there, and you understand what you're competing with. Even the names, Kirkland Signature, Members Mark.
Yeah.
They don't compete just on the way it sounds.
And if you're of a certain generation, I hear Members Mark and it makes me think of Members Only.
Oh no, does it really?
Yeah.
I've never put that together.
So the old Members Only jackets that were popular for a tick back in the 80s, that's what it makes me think of. But listen, I'm a big fan of Costco. I love what they do there, and a lot of the brands. Now, I can't remember if the Costco hot dogs, are those actually Kirkland brand hot dogs?
So I think they are now. It wasn't originally. And I forget what the original brand was. It wasn't Hebrew National. And maybe it was Sabret. They were better. They were better. The hot dog that Costco uses today, no matter what they tell me, is not as good as the hot dog they used a decade ago. It just isn't. But the Kirkland Signature brand as a not only popular, but as a cool factor. It's real.
And the other thing I've noticed too, just locally here in central Indiana, I know you do this from time to time. There are some auction sites online that I happen to come across, and I can't tell you how many times I've been on an auction site and the amount of members mark brand goods,
grills and things like that.
Yeah,
I see it all the time, and that says something to me. It said, and I pass. I absolutely pass. I don't look at those things. I know the auction sites. Sometimes there's some interesting things, and I've purchased some things before. I absolutely take a pass. I say no, thank you. That's not for me. What I find fascinating here is the realization that it works. By the way, Kirkland Signature does clothing. They do clothing, and if you're wearing the jeans or you're wearing a button-down shirt or a sweater, like great. Why is it everything I own has to be some designer thing at $82? And by the way, $82 would be considered a bargain in some of those other places.
Yeah. The other thing too, that you can get some really good finds on clothing at Costco. I mean, they've got the name brand stuff. Forget the Kirkland brand. I mean, Adidas, Skechers, Levi's jeans. And
they have Under Armour from time to time,
yes.
and a all sorts of weatherproof they've got.
Yeah.
And I think that it used to be that they would have this small section in the middle, and they'd have the socks and the slippers and stuff, and people would walk by, and sometimes you'd take a look, but you didn't want to be seen looking. And then they just figured out a pricing model that was so criminally insane. You're like, okay, all the kids are getting shorts. Here they are, 3 pairs of shorts each. Boom, boom, boom. 3 kids. It cost me less than $80 to put 9 pairs of shorts in there. Look what I did. Good for the family. Done. The bathing suits. Here you go, kids. There you are.
And here's the other thing too. The kids may fight you to go clothing shopping, but if you say, "Hey, you want a hot dog? You want a piece of pizza? You want the ice cream? Why don't you come to Costco with us?" And you can get whatever you want, and it'll cost me $3.
And it's very true. But it is amazing over the past couple years how that whole clothing area, and you'll notice the guys' stuff is on 5 smaller tables. The ladies' stuff is now going on for forever, especially in like the jackets, the outerwear thing. I don't know if they don't sell anything fine, if you will. I've never seen a dress there. I've never seen purses there. I've never seen those kinds of accessories there. More outerwear, more pants or a top
or bathing suits, things like that.
I've never looked.
They have bathing suits
on that, but it works, and people feel good about it. And no, I think that's where Sam's Club has to accept the fact that I don't think people feel as good going in.
Yeah.
Because they haven't established a specialness to the brand. Your commentary, I think, is apropos. If going into a Sam's Club simply makes you feel like you're at a much bigger Walmart, that's not enough. You need real differentiation. You need a real experience kind of thing. You need it. And if you're not going to offer it, you might want to emulate what it is that Costco has done. You have to make people rethink the brand as a whole.
And I think you're spot on with just the naming alone. Kirkland Signature versus Members Mark.
It's there. I mean, it really does affect the brain in that way. But fingers, enough of Sam's Club. We have to get back to the drinking, because this summer has been dubbed
Hot Girl Summer.
Hot Girl Summer. We've got the Happy Thursday spiked refreshers, no carbonation at all, and it's time to try the pineapple starfruit.
Holler.
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 We gotta talk. Eat, drink, smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Independence Day. Hope it was fantastic for everybody. Hope you're still celebrating a great country and a good time. We are drinking, people, and it's not bourbon. It is not bourbon. Well, we did add some bourbon to it, Fingers Malloy has decided that this summer is
Hot girl summer.
hot girl summer. And what do the hot girls drink? They drink Zima. They drink themselves the White Claw and the Truly and the whatever else it is. The spiked refreshers and the hard seltzers and the...
I thought you were going to follow it up with Zima Gold.
There was Zima Gold?
How did you not know about Zima Gold?
I don't know. I was probably talking to a girl who was drinking Zima Gold, and I didn't pay attention. Fingers Malloy has brought us the Happy Thursday spiked refreshers. DrinkHappyThursday.com. These are 4.4% alcohol by volume. They are naturally flavored with other natural flavors.
That means it's healthy.
Hold on. I got to read that again. Naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Okay.
The redundancy department of redundancy.
And it is bubble free. There's no carbonation in these. The one we tried, the black cherry, which tastes exactly like Minute Maid fruit punch. The smell, the taste, dead on. And they've got strawberry, pineapple starfruit, black cherry, and mango passion fruit. We're doing the pineapple starfruit because I do not know what starfruit tastes like. You? Have you had this one, Fingers?
Starfruit tastes like space-age polymers.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, there it is. Why is this summer, Fingers Malloy? Why is it hot girl summer?
Because don't you just imagine if you go to, say, a Vegas pool, a Vegas resort pool, and you're on the Strip, you're at the Wynn or the Venetian, and you've got the ladies there in the bikinis from LA. Can't you just imagine them sucking down Happy Thursday after Happy Thursday, frolicking in the water, saying, hot girl summer, like that? That's why.
Well, there's a visual.
Frolicking.
It's sucking down a Happy Thursday. Spiked refresher. DrinkHappyThursday.com. Not a sponsor, but they should be. This is the pineapple starfruit.
Okay.
And it's yellow.
According to the folks at Drink Happy Thursday, notes of sweet pineapple meet the zesty, citrusy notes of starfruit in this spiked refresher.
Is that right?
Yes.
They're zesty?
Zesty.
Not something I like to hear in my drinks. Here, I'm taking the nose.
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a lot of pineapple. That is a tremendous amount of pineapple.
I wonder
wow.
if pineapple and starfruit have a similar aroma to them.
It's pineapple and you take get the nose there. It's pineapple and a little vanilla.
Yeah.
It's like a cream. It's Dole Whip.
I was going to say an upside down pineapple cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If they perfected Dole Whip into an adult beverage, oh my goodness gracious. Hot girl summer.
Are you going in first?
Yeah.
You go in first with the Happy Thursday, the pineapple starfruit, spiked beverages, spiked refreshers. It's bubble free. You all right, Fingers?
Do you like pineapple? Are you a fan?
I'm not opposed. I'm not anti. I'll put it on pizza.
Again, the amount of trouble you could get in by drinking this. It's pineapple. It's pineapple juice.
I'm going in. What are the calories on this?
120 calories.
120 calories.
So you can enjoy it and not worry about it going to your thighs.
How much protein? How much protein in this?
Believe it or not, zero protein.
What?
Hard to believe. Zero added sugar. Zero sugar. No.
It is not zero sugar. Smelling this, I got diabetes. Here we go.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing the Saginaw Swish.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh. And this is 4.4% alcohol by volume as it is.
Yeah. And okay, this one.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
I have to believe this one would be the one that you could put vodka in and be like, oh my, you wouldn't even taste the vodka. Vodka or coconut rum with the pineapple.
I have rum.
You have rum?
Excuse me, everybody.
Tony Katz is going to put bamboo rum in his Happy Thursday to make it a happy post-Independence Day weekend here at Eat, Drink, Smoke. He's looking, he's moving the bottles all over the place frantically, searching for the The rum, I have to believe that a coconut rum would be very good with this as well. But listen, this is not for everyone. Obviously, I could see you if you're on a boat, if you're going to the pool and you don't want to drink a lot of beer, you don't want obviously to make cocktails. You get a Canton cocktail like this. It's something that you could enjoy, and then on top of it, where it really can get you into trouble is the fact that there's absolutely no carbonation in this drink. So
Find it. It must be in the other liquor cabinet.
But the fact that there's no carbonation in this,
so it goes down even easier.
yes,
And that's really well done because it is sweet. It does have a little bit of a cream finish. It isn't overwhelming. You could drink it as is. And if you had it on the rocks, in the pint glass or in the big solo cup,
yeah,
you're good.
The problem with on the rocks is you better drink it quick. I think this could water down really easily.
By the way, rum, this, ice, blender.
Yeah.
Game over. That's really, and ice cream.
Oh, can you imagine?
That's really well done. Well done. Drink Happy Thursday. All right, you know what? We will let you sponsor the show now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We will allow you a hand for Happy Thursday. They're allowed to sponsor the show.
Happy Thursday. Eat, drink, smokes. Hot girl summer.
That's exactly how we're going to sell it to the people. But it's time, Fingers Malloy, for news of the week.
So Yahoo, Tony, got together a panel of experts.
Is that right?
A panel of experts, maybe even a blue ribbon panel, Tony. And they came to the conclusion that you should not drink alcohol while on an airplane. They're warning folks not to drink alcohol while on an airplane. And they give you several reasons why you should not drink alcohol on a plane. Are you ready for some of these?
I am absolutely not ready.
Well, the first one, I see this and I think to myself, what's the problem? You actually get drunk faster because of the high altitude of the airplane, the lower the oxygen levels, and couple that with the atmospheric pressure, it will get you drunker faster.
Yeah. Fingers, I'm not quite sure I'm following.
I'm tired of doing bad news, Tony. I'm tired of doing bad news. So what I wanted to do with this is inform Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation and have them listen and basically say to themselves, yeah, I don't care what these experts are saying. I'm drinking on a plane anyway. So number 2 on the list, you're more likely to dehydrate because air inside planes has low humidity levels, about 10 to 20% humidity compared to 35 to 65% humidity that you'd find in your typical environment. So because it's drier, you're more likely to dehydrate while on a plane. Which,
again, it's not going to stop anybody. The person who is drinking to the point of passing out or causing a problem on a plane doesn't care about your science mumbo jumbo. You think they read? Do they think? Does Yahoo think they're reading it?
Well, here's the deal. I saw this article and I thought to myself, this is really going to make me hesitate to drink alcohol the next time I'm on an airplane.
It's not. That's my point. This is all just ridiculous. People who drink on planes, if they're me, it's just a little sip. Take maybe just a little bit of relaxation. Know that it's special. Everybody else is going to Vegas and figures they should start early.
Holler.
This,
Hot girl summer.
this is Eat, Drink, Smoke. Keeping with the air travel conversation, I don't know what this is. And I don't know what this means. Fingers, have you ever heard the term raw dogging?
Don't Google that.
Well, don't go to Urban Dictionary with that, whatever you do.
No, I have not, but I'm intrigued.
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. Raw dogging has become a buzzword. Raw dogging. And it refers to the idea that when you are flying you're not doing anything. No music, no streaming, no snacking, no sleep. That's how the New York Post describes it. Raw dogging. Why is it called that?
I don't know, but the patron saint of raw dogging, of course, is David Putty, as we all know, when he and Elaine Bennis traveled to Europe.
Gosh.
And he just stared straight ahead for several minutes until Elaine snapped. I think we all remember that from Seinfeld, Tony. And they claim this is more of a guy thing. And I get it. I understand it. I do it. There are times where I will just stare forward in the airplane and just either think about the trip, think about if it's a vacation, what I'm going to do or what I'm getting away from. And it happens. And yet they're making it sound like at the New York Post, and this has to do with some sort of social media outrage. That's what I'm guessing. People are commenting on social media about this, that this is something that is spreading like wildfire. And to me, I do this a lot. Do you do this?
So this allegedly is inspired by the show Hijacked on Apple TV. It's Idris Elba, and his flight gets hijacked, and so he's like 7 hours from his flight from Dubai to London without any amenities, and so therefore people have gotten into this. Here's what I believe, young man. I don't necessarily just stare out in front of me, but I'm very okay with nothing. I recently flew to Florida. It had the in-seat stuff, so I watched some TV. Right? There are times where you put video poker on my phone. I'll play video poker on my phone. I lost, by the way. I'll play video poker on my phone. I used to try and read and do work. That's over. I don't do that anymore. I've tried to sleep on planes. I'm really bad at it. I unless it's super early in the morning, I didn't sleep the night before. I'm terrible at it. But I don't know why does everything have to be a phenomenon? Why does everything have to be a name? Why are we talking about this? Because somebody wrote it in a newspaper and now all of a sudden it's news. Or a news site, because it's not even a newspaper. I mean, it is a newspaper, but you know.
Should be the segment called News Not in the News. Not in the news, in the news. News not in the news? What do we decide with this? Not news in the news. That's
not
what this
news.
Not news in the news.
In the news.
Yeah. What cracks me up is when, and this happens a lot, and it must be younger people who are writing these stories, is that they act like there's this new phenomenon going on, and they coin a term for it. And older people are like, this isn't new. This isn't new at all. Why are you acting like this is some new phenomenon when it's not? But I wish I could work on a plane. I've tried pulling a laptop out, and it just, at my size, you've got the. Fortunately, they're getting rid.
He's 6'3", by the way, with the Mohawk 6'9".
There it is. Unfortunately, or excuse me, fortunately, people can't recline anymore for the most part in airplanes.
Why is that fortunate?
Because when you're 6'3" and you're trying to work on your IBM ThinkPad, it's impossible when someone reclines back.
Well, that's your problem. They should be able to recline. My seat reclined.
I don't know. The last, I'd say 8 to 10 flights I've been on, I haven't been able to recline.
Well, the last couple flights you and I have been on, we've been on Spirit, and those seats don't recline.
No.
They
barely seats.
Yeah. So I get the big seat, right?
Yes.
It's like first class, but without any feeling of it. And honestly, it just not worth it. The reason I take first class is because I am an elitist and I'm proud of it. It's comfort. I like to be comfortable when I fly. I don't care about the hotel. This part matters to me because it sets the whole trip. Yeah, that my Spirit days are over too. I'm just spending the money, and Daddy don't care. I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
I got to tell you,
you can go in steerage. right? But I'm going to get myself some peanuts and a Diet Coke before the flight takes off.
Well, from what you're reading in the newspapers, Tony, today, Spirit may not be around much longer because you see the struggles that they're going through.
Southwest is having struggles now. Does the low cost carrier thing not work, or is it's just so no frills, like the whole thing with fast food? It's not worth it anymore.
Is Southwest
having issues?
But would you consider them a low-cost air carrier now?
Absolutely.
Really?
In comparison to the Delta United American?
Okay, I guess, but holy cow, I got on Google Flights the other day to look at flights to Vegas and was stunned at how expensive it was to fly Southwest. I mean, and I know everything has changed since the pandemic, but from Indianapolis to Vegas, you could easily find flights round trip for less than $250. Now you're paying 3-4 times that sometimes. And on Southwest, it was almost $1,000. And your first two bags are free, only go so far, So, yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. Compared to United, American, it is a discount airline, but my goodness, the prices are just going insane.
What I cannot put together, except the only answer I can give is a really kind of ugly one. People are flying all over the place.
Yeah.
People are traveling everywhere. And you're like, this doesn't make any sense. We talk about economic news. We all see what's going on. We're like, where are they going? How are they doing this? And then you realize that credit card defaults are growing. And the whole doom spending thing, super real. I am convinced of it. Everyone's like, I am going to have my vacation and I am going to enjoy it and let the chips fall where they may. I'm going before it's too late.
There's going to be some very chips falling very, very soon.
Drives me nuts. Because my problem is we sound very Chicken Little. We've been having this conversation. We go over the data. We see it in our cigar prices, in our bourbon prices. And yet the country is like, let's go out.
I just have a hard time wrapping my head around people that are a vacation. I can understand racking up a big credit card bill for. It's for some, it may be a once in a lifetime trip, but like a meal at a restaurant, like an expensive meal, man, you enjoy that. And I think it's a Seinfeld bit. And then the check comes and you're like, what just happened here? And that great feeling of all that wonderful food, it's gone.
But as we were discussing earlier, if Arby's, if for two is going to cost $30, might as well go to Texas Roadhouse, and they're seeing the increase because people are saying, I might as well get some value out of this, and it's going to be $36. Okay. At least someone's going to serve me.
And that's why the fast food restaurants are responding. McDonald's just went back to having a $5 meal again.
They're trying to get people back in the door. Warfighter is what we're smoking. The Garrison, that Maduro Oscuro. This is a nice stick. 5x52, $9.50. This is a yes. This is in the humidor, Fingers Malloy.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And these Happy Thursday spiked refreshers, drinkhappythursday.com. They're good. They're dangerous, and they're good. Oh, I got to add rum to the pineapple starfruit. I have to. That's got to happen. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Follow Eat, Drink, Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat, Drink, Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Smoke, and Instagram at Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast.